We was two bottoms living life, little mediocre girl. Hey, it's your boy AJ back with another freaking video, and today I'm here with a story time. Child, today's story time is going to be a hot mess with receipts on receipts on receipts, baby. Oh, I got the receipts.
Do you want me to bring the receipt? Do I need to bring the receipt, baby girl? Because I got receipts.
So, girl, baby, sit down, get your blunt, get your wine, get your drink, or grab just popcorn, girl. But we got a juicy old story. We're here to talk about how my boyfriend turned stalker. It's a mess. I'm gonna take you from the top to bottom. So without further ado, girl, let's run the intro so we can get directly into today's story time. So this story starts off in high school. Now it was 2018. I don't remember if that was 10th grade year or 11th grade year, but girl, it was one of them years. I'm leaning more towards 10th grade year, girl. Let's just say 10th grade year. So I'm at home chilling with my phone, freshly got, girl. My mother and stepdad had finally just got me a phone, so I'm living life on my phone. Now it was rules on this phone. It was like, oh, no social media, no Facebook, no Instagram, da 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 da. And the whole time I was thinking in my head, girl, if you don't want me to get on no social media, no Snapchat, no none of that, what is this phone for? I'm not old like y'all. I don't want no phone just to play solitary and Tetris. Girl, what is this phone for? So mom had this big old rule about not having Instagram, Snapchat, no type of social media. She was not down with that. She was giving very much, you can text your friends, you can text me, you can play Subway Surfers, and that's about it. So I had snuck and downloaded Instagram because they had Instagram and Snapchat. They had all the social medias blocked. Girl, they had it blocked where we couldn't download them. But since it was an Android, it was like a Google Pixel. Shout out to the Google Pixels, girl. They doing their wave right now. I had a Google Pixel, honey, and I was able to go to like the internet, go on Chrome, and I was able to type in Instagram, like, what is it, like APK? It's something like that, girl, where I was able to download an Instagram app directly from Google Chrome to my phone. Okay, girl? So I'm on my APK, girl, on Instagram, and I get an Instagram DM. Now I get an Instagram DM of a profile with just a username and it's no face, and I am totally nosy. Like, to this day I am nosy, so I just had to respond. I can't remember verbatim what they said in my DM, but I knew I was ready to respond. The one thing about it, baby, I was never going to miss a DM. I thought a ball player, a rich a Bill Gates, a Steve Harvey Jr. I thought somebody of statue was always in my DMs, so I was always in my DMs looking and replying. So when I got that DM from somebody and then they didn't have no profile picture, I'm like, oh yeah, this is some type of ball player. Let me respond. So they text me, hey, and the way they texted, I should have known it wasn't no damn ball player. I said, hello, who are you? If you don't respond, I'm gonna block you because I don't have time for ghost followers or weirdos texting me. You got 15 minutes or I'm gonna block you, girl. I gave them 15 minutes. I gave them 15 minutes to respond or I'm going to block you, girl. They end up texting me, what's up? And I'm like, hi, who are you? Who are you? You need to tell me who you is or I'm blocking you. I don't know why I kept saying I'm going to block you, but I was on the edge of my bed. I need to know who it is. I was on the edge of my seat. I was not going to block him. Blocking this person was not on the agenda. The only thing on the agenda was making this person reveal who they was. I don't know why I was using this block scare tactic, but I'm like, who are you? I'm going to block you. So, and then I asked them like, what school do you go to? So they say they go to Southwind High School, the high school I went to. And I'm like, okay. We end up having this conversation, you guys, and they end up actually showing me who they was. And it was somebody I've seen in the school, not often, but every now and then. I didn't see them often, but I've seen them every now and then. And I'm like, this ain't Odell Beckham. So, girl, I'm automatically having to back out of this because I think I was DL'd at the time. I think I was DL'd at the time doing school. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like half of the school didn't know, half of the school did know. It was just you had to, depending on what hall I was on. Depending on what hall I was on, if I was DL or not. Okay, girl? But when he had said that who he was, I was thinking like, oh, no, I was thinking like, oh, none of this. He was like, oh, I have a crush on you. I like you, da da da. And I'm like, no, I rebuke it. I'm telling him I rebuke it. I'm telling him get away. And the whole time I'm binding him. The whole time I'm binding him in the name of Jesus, y'all. He's telling me, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Da 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 da. You gay. And I'm thinking like, no, I'm not. Not anymore. If this is what's in my DMs, not anymore. So he's asking me to be in a relationship. And the whole time I'm responding to him, I'm like, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. I'm being so homophobic. I'm like, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. And I'm just pushing him away because realistically, he was not the hottest thing on the block. And like I was a bottom. I feel like I I was a bottom in that time. I feel like I know I was a bottom at that time. I feel like I know I was a bottom at that time. He is very clearly a bottom at the time. Girl, the bottom of all barrels. So the whole time he's just making advances on me and I'm not feeling it at all. I'm totally like dead in it. I'm dead in it, right? He ends up telling me like, oh, tomorrow at school I'm gonna speak to you. And I tell him immediately, I said, don't walk up to me at school. don't walk up to me, period. Do not, because at this point, you know, I was like, get away from me, trying to say anything to kind of push him away. But then once he's talking about some, oh, you know, he's gonna be persistent, he's gonna stand on it, and he's gonna talk to me tomorrow at school, I'm like, no, don't do that at school, because we're gonna have to get active. If he was to walk up to me at school, I would have had to snatch everything he had in his head out. Sometimes he had his regular hair, sometimes he had some braids, depending on what he came to school with the next day and what he came up to me, talking to me with in his head. Whatever he came up with was gonna get snatched out, because don't do that. So fast forward to the next day, you guys, I end up bumping into one of my friends, and she was actually mutual with this boy. We should give him a name, Psychopath. We got a name of Psychopath. So the next day I end up seeing one of my friends, and she was friends with Psychopath, and I wasn't, like I said, Psychopath was in my DMs and I didn't know who that man was, and he was trying to get jiggy with me. No. So once I seen one of my friends at school, she walked up to me and she was like, I heard Psychopath was trying to get up with you. Now this is one of my girls, so she knew I was one of the girls. So she was like, I heard Psychopath was DMing you, and I was like, no, I don't like Psychopath. What am I gonna do with it? I want a ball player. I need a hood nigga. I need a basketball player. I need somebody that play with balls, that don't want. I need somebody that does something, like a strong masculine man. There's nothing I can do with that man. Like, there's nothing I can do with Psychopath. So I'm telling her, like, I'm not into Psychopath. And also, I don't know why the girls in high school used to do that too. If they had a gay friend and then they knew you, they would just try to play matchmaker. And it's like most of the time, these girls used to be trying to put two bottoms together. Like, no, unacceptable. Unacceptable. So she's trying to play matchmaker. I'm like, no, I don't like Psychopath. It's cute and all, but no to Psychopath. So for over the next 2 weeks, my friend have been telling me like, oh, you should try to talk to Psychopath. Oh, Psychopath likes you. And I just was so annoyed about the situation. But me and Psychopath didn't cross paths. And if I did see him, he see me walking in a different way. He was walking in a different way. It was nothing work. We was visually close, and I actually lived, because I didn't like how he came at me in the DMs, because it was real weird and perverted. Even though we was the same age, it gave weird and perverted. So over the next 2 weeks, like I said, our mutual friend ended up trying to put me and Psychopath together, and I didn't want to be with Psychopath. I was like, no, I'm not really feeling Psychopath. And then I had a little something going on at the time. That's the story for that. Had a little something going on at the time, and I wasn't gonna cheat on my little something for this little bottom. No. Unacceptable. So it wouldn't be my life story if just crazy things don't happen. So randomly, you guys, we had some type of schedule change, and they end up changing majority, well, not everybody's, but a lot of kids' school schedules, like putting them in different classes, because a lot of the classes were overpacked. Usually, you know, it's supposed to be like 30 kids in a class. Girl, they had 42 kids in a class, and it was so bad where people had to just pull up chairs. It was bad. So they end up having to fix that and change classes around and take people out, add people in, hire new teachers. It was just a mess. So once that happened, a lot of people's schedules shifted. And girl, why was Psychopath thrown into my class? So over the last 3 weeks, I've been ignoring Psychopath. We had that weird DM conversation, but evidently he's still talking about me to his mutual friend, because she's still trying to get me and Psychopath together. And now we had a grand old schedule change, and he's thrown into my class. Girl, you can't make this shit up. Now, at first when he got into the classroom, I was playing Helen Keller. I was acting like I didn't see him, I didn't hear him, I wasn't acknowledging him. But as time went on, girl, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how it happened. Conversation started. We was talking about this, we was talking about that, and nothing flirty. I felt like once I laid down the law, baby, he had kind of picked up on the law, so we could be able to, you know, have a conversation. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to be his friend or his man, but the conversation ended up happening, honey. Time progresses and we fall into a situationship. I don't know why, but think about gays, when they start talking to anything that has a cocker spaniel too long, they fall into something. Definitely if you're a young baby gay, and I was a young baby gay. And then also I was having some situationships with my other situationship, so I ended up falling into this situationship with Psychopath. I don't know how it happened. I was standing 20 toes down about being, I was a straight man. When I first met Psychopath, I was telling him how I don't do this thing and da-da-da-da-da-da, but some type of way we fell into a situationship. Now, this situationship was It was tired. It was tired. I'm gonna be completely honest. This situationship was weird. It was overwhelming. It was boring. And it was completely just so I could get a couple of news to beat my cocker spaniel to. I'm gonna be honest, okay? It was not it. I actually grew very tired of the relationship quick, fast, and immediately almost, actually. I grew very tired of the relationship. But before I grew too tired of it, I tried to have a sneaky link at my mother's house. And this is crazy, right? So one day after school, you know, we go on home from school, he asked us to come over, and he was pressuring me throughout the day, like, let me come over, because he had recently, I don't know how God put me in the most testing situations, because he had recently mysteriously, crazily, stalkingly moved into my neighborhood randomly, swear to God, y'all, randomly moved 3 streets over. He was real close, baby. I could have walked there in about 8 minutes, okay? Randomly moved into my neighborhood, the neck of my woods. So he was like, let me come over to your house, come over to your house, come over to your house. And I'm thinking like, okay, I don't know, YOLO, sure, I don't know. I had never ever had invited anybody to my mama's house, okay? Never had done that. So never had done that, and I was like, YOLO. So one day after school, I think he ends up riding the bus, or he ends up riding home separate ways, and I'm catching my bus, and I get home. Nobody's home, it's just me, myself, and I. So darling, I'm like, oh, I text him and I hear him like, oh, you come over, but you can't come inside. Cause I was like, no matter what you do, girl, you're not coming inside. Like, it's fine, it's fine. I don't know what we're gonna do. Cause like I said, I was a bottom at the time, he was a bottom at the time. We was, you know, we was just 2 bottoms living life, little mediocre girl. So I don't know what we was gonna do, and I really didn't have no intention on doing anything sexual with him. Cause like I said, he wasn't the best looking kid in America, child, okay? So I was like, well, let's have a good time. YOLO. I was on my very much white girl, New York, 3 a.m. screaming, ah, YOLO lifestyle. So he ends up coming over, you guys, and we're sitting in my mama's back patio, because she had just built like this external patio in the back. So we're sitting out there, we're talking, we're chatting it up, and I remember setting the scene. I remember pulling out random papers from my backpack. And sitting them on the table as if we were like studying just in case, oh my goodness, just in case somebody walked in, so I could tell my mom, like, or whoever walked in, oh, we were studying, just in case. So we're just talking, we keep keying. I have no idea what we were talking about, but I know my life was about to turn, like things were about to get crunk, okay, girl? So we're sitting out there, and I remember this sound like I heard it yesterday, girl. My garage in my house would make so much noise. It would vibrate the whole house. You could hear it in the backyard, you could hear it in your room, you could hear it in the restroom, you could hear it in the living room, you could hear it anywhere. So girl, I'm sitting in this backyard, and me and Psychopath are talking, and I hear, and all I could do is drop. Like, I had a heart attack because I'm thinking, like, what do I do with him? There's nowhere else. Like he would, oh my, like, I didn't know what to do. So at this point, you guys, I'm just sitting there ready to die, because there's nothing I can do. I'm just sitting there ready to KO. I'm ready to KO. So in comes my mom, and she walks, because of course the back door she could see was open. So she's like, why is this back door open? Ain't no dogs back here. Let me see what's going on. So she looks out, and she sees me and Psychopath, and she kind of gags, and she goes back in, and I'm thinking, oh my God, my stepdad has to be with her. Girl, my stepdad comes, and they're freaking hollering. They're screaming. They're going off, asking like, what is he doing here? I'm saying, oh, we're studying. Girl, I ain't never been the bitch to study. Bitch, we're studying. I'm telling her we're studying. I'm showing her the papers. Oh, look, we're da-da-da-da-da. I knew y'all would have an issue if I brought him in, so I just have him back here. We just studying, da-da-da. You know, my mama was talking about some, you should have called. Girl, she's going off. At this point, they're telling him like to go. She's telling him, what did she tell him? I think she said, I don't know how you got here, but you gotta go. Girl, he running. Girl, he went through the fence. And I'm sitting there gagged. My mama ends up confiscating my damn phone. When she confiscated my phone, y'all, she found out that I had the APKs. I hope I'm saying it right, but she found out I had the APKs, baby. Had the Twitter APK, the Instagram APK, and all of these APKs. So she going off, you guys, finding out that I have all these different social medias. And not only do I have all these social medias that I don't supposed to be having, baby, on Snapchat, I'm sending my cocker spaniel. I'm sending my lone sausage. Me lone sausage has been sent. I'm sending me long sausage to this nigga, that nigga, this bitch. I'm sending me long sausage to everybody. So since I did that, baby, my phone is confiscated. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the day he came over to my house was a Friday. It was a Friday, you guys. So when they confiscated my phone that Friday, you know, that Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, I end up not being able to talk to him. Now, expecting, you know, thinking, you know, Psychopath will understand that all of this just went down in front of your eyes, and then you flee through the gate. you understand that, you know, I wouldn't have my phone to contact you. But he didn't understand it. So I get to school Monday and he has an attitude. First of all, you can't do that little attitude stuff for me. I barely like you anyway. I don't like. This is something that I'm just doing. This is something that's keeping me alive. This is something for me just to be able to see tomorrow. This is nothing too serious where you can catch an attitude and I'll be trying to fix it, okay? So he's catching the attitude and I'm thinking like, nigga, no. So he's going all off, mad at me because I haven't texted him back over the weekend. And I literally tell him like, look here, you know what happened. You knew what happened. You knew what went down. Why's you doing all this? Evidently, I got in trouble. My phone got taken. Calm down. I'm trying to tell him you need to calm down. So the next day, you guys, I end up having like a homework assignment and I end up having to do it on my desktop in the back. So we had a desktop in the man cave room. It was like a little home office slash man cave, and that's where I would go and do my work. Now this desktop, honey, it was a Windows computer and they had just had this, like, I don't know if this was new, but it was new to me on it. They had this Windows app shop. Now I done been off the medias. I don't got no phone. Girl, I'm going through the website while I'm trying to do my homework, but truly I'm going through the little app store looking around, girl, and I end up seeing Instagram. So I'm like, girl, let me download Instagram. I'm like, girl, let me download Instagram. Because at the time, if you go to Instagram.com, you wasn't able to see your DMs. So you can scroll and look at these and see who liked your posts. But at the time on Instagram.com, if you looked on, you know, Chrome or either went through Firefox, you couldn't see your DMs. And I was like, I wonder if this app let me see my DMs, girl. So I'm downloading the app and I minimize, honey, and I'm clicking around doing my homework, but I'm waiting for Instagram to download, honey. Girl, I download Instagram. I log on in, bitch. Now I'm in Instagram. I'm checking. I'm looking. I'm do. And I'm, you know, doing my big one, girl. I'm texting my girls back. I need to text back. I'm trying to see if any of my old flicks from last week, you know, got any new numbers on them. I'm trying to do my big one. Now, I didn't peep it and I didn't realize until I started scrolling down all of my, you know, messages on my DMs and responding to people. One of the profiles was like, user not found, user something. And I'm like, who the hell is that? I'm like, who the hell is that? Who got deleted? Because I'm like, can't nobody be blocking the bad bitch. Who done got deleted? And I clicked the profile, y'all, and it's Psychopath. Psychopath done blocked me. Now, I forgot I'm in a situationship with Psychopath. So I wasn't even thinking about texting them back or checking on them, none of that. I was just, girl, you know, on there texting my homegirls. And then I realized that I didn't talk to Psychopath, but I couldn't even talk to Psychopath because he had blocked me on Instagram. Now, I don't know if this is y'all first thing to do, but if I notice that somebody blocked me on either app, I go look and see if they, you know, done the world tour of blocking. I go see if you done blocked me on every single thing. Not to contact you, not to go off on you. I'm just curious to see, like, did you block me on Instagram because you didn't want me to see some on Instagram, or did you block me everywhere because you just done with me? Because if you're done with me, completely fine. I'd absolutely love that because I didn't want to break your heart. So when he blocked me on Instagram, I go to Twitter to see if he blocked me on Twitter. And girl, he didn't block me on Twitter, but he's on Twitter calling me everything other than a child of God and Jalen Porter. Girl, this man is on Twitter calling me a Frosted Flakes looking bitch. He's calling me that. He calling me the girl. He calling me all type of craziness. And I had never been publicly bashed on Twitter before, so I'm like, I'm speechless. Like, I'm gagged. I'm speechless, girl. Some of the tweets are still up to this day. Some of the tweets are still up to this day, girl. And this happened in 2018. And this is, I'm telling the story, 2023. Some of the tweets are still up to this day. So I'm gone. Girl, I'm like, there's no reason he should. Why is he doing all this on Twitter? And I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And I'm not too embarrassed because he didn't have that many followers. But I'm like, what is he, like, what are you doing on Twitter talking about me? You're obsessed. You're obsessed because this is not a relationship. This is a situationship. This is, you send me a nude or two, I send you a nude or two. What are you, like, what?